All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you as always. It's shop season. You guys can see we got the sweatshirt on. If you guys haven't already checked out the previous Ruger video where we got this thing dialed in, got it on paper, and super pumped up about it, actually shooting these sweet bad boys right here, these Barnes Harvest. Go check it out. I kind of film these videos in a weird order, but I promise you guys I will show you the build video on this bad Larry right here. And first of all, shout out to the fine folks over at Ruger Arms. I've been tinkering with Ruger firearms ever since I was 10, 12 years old with my granddad, 1022s. It was so nice to team up with them and finally get hands on the all-new Ruger American Gen 2. And the previous video, is it any good? You know, can you take a sub, $600 firearm and do whatever you want to with it, trick it out, make it your own, can, bipod, glass, base, rings, the whole shebang, even a new trigger in this bad Larry, and make it, do incredible things for a gun that is actually very affordable. So the question was, could we do it, and could we build my wife a custom whitetail getter for the channel? And we did. I think we successfully did accomplish that mission, and I'm super pumped with how it came out. So this video is all about how we took this gun out of the box, partnered up with some incredible companies to bring you a gun that still aesthetically looks like a Ruger Gen 2 American. We didn't take the barreled action and throw it into a chassis and try to push this thing out to 1,000, which I think this stock configuration, I say stock in quotes, you could probably do that pretty easily. I mean, the 6.5 Creedmoor is very versatile. We might cover that in a separate video, but this is to show you just how to take a Ruger American Gen Dos, put it to its paces, new trigger, the whole 9 yards, and show you exactly what this gun should have been out of the box from Ruger, and just several slight improvements that vastly change how this gun shoots and handles, and show you guys you can do it here in the shop. I've got gunsmith YouTube education, and I was able to do this pretty amateur professionalist-ish, and I think the results speak for themselves. So guys, let's dive into the video and let's get after it. All right, guys, so before we dive into the finished product of what this rifle truly became once we got all the parts and they're working in beautiful orchestra in this work of art right here, we're going to take you back in time and show you just exactly how easy this thing is to put together in a shop, garage, DIY thing. You don't have to run to a gunsmith, especially if you're not rebarreling something or a lot of the other custom work like, bedding in action. We're not going that far into depth. I'm showing you just how easy it is to take it out of the box, in this case, Ruger American, one of the least inexpensive, most affordable firearms out there in the market right now, the Gen 2, and to show you just how easy it is to customize it and get it that much more effective for whatever application that you're going to do. So this is the 16-inch version ranch rifle. All right, guys, so as you can see, this was the out-of-the-box footage here of just a stock Ruger American. Now, we did go ahead and put the suppressor on for added effect, but I'm giving you a rundown of the parts here. Shout out to the fine folks over at Anarchy Outdoors. They stepped up to the plate big time. Hammy 3D prints, Burris with that badass full field Gen 5. Wow, what a combo. EGW, Timney triggers, always stepping up for videos for the channel. The 20 MOA rail and the Keystone rings from the folks at EGW. Couldn't do it without you guys, and you made this project exactly what it is. Sub MOA gun out of the box, and we're just blown away with the performance here. So as you guys can see there, we're checking out the stock bolt configuration, which is actually not bad. This bolt is not jeweled, it's not fluted, it's not has any kind of pattern on it. It's a really basic bolt design, which is probably keeping the cost down to you, the end user, the buying customer of the Ruger products. But that's good, for a sub $600 gun. I would expect it to be more basic, but it does have almost like a mirror finish, which is nice. And I did actually take some Meguiar's aluminum wheel polish and just buff that out quickly after this was over. But the biggest thing I had against the stock bolt, as you can see, I'm making a counterclockwise motion, is that bolt shroud from Ruger. As I monkey wrenched that thing off there with the green gloves, I think I went through 4 pairs of green gloves trying to get that thing off, dude. Finally was able to muscle it through. But that bolt shroud is made of just, whatever plastic. I don't know, like a cheap ABS plastic. Now, do I think it would have made a big difference as far as accuracy? No, but the folks over at Anarchy Outdoors make a metal, like a billet type shroud that goes over it. You'll see them unboxing it there. Also with the tool that they sell, I highly, highly recommend getting that tool. It makes life so much easier, especially if you're disassembling this to clean the firing pin or a super deep clean of the bolt assembly. Highly recommend that. And with the tool right in there, like I said, you put it in there. There's a special notch that goes in, and it actually captures that firing pin portion for you and makes it so much easier to rotate and turn and take out. Now, the reason I'm going that far in the bolt disassembly is I'm replacing the bolt the physical handle, the stem part of the bolt. I'm not sure what that's called, but the bolt handle itself, Anarchy sent out a black billet replacement that has more of like a, instead of just a circular stem coming out, it's got some angles on it. It just makes it more aesthetically pleasing. And why not have to wrench that round bolt knob off and just keep it together? So, and the biggest trick here, I'm telling you, the pro tip here is get you some rock set, blue Loctite, whatever. Clean the threads first with some alcohol. Everybody's got rubbing alcohol at their house. It's not a big deal. And go ahead and put some Loctite, or like in my case, I'm using some rock set. And I'm going to put I think the model for this bolt handle that I chose from Anarchy is the mini Dragon Scale Mini, I believe is what it's called on their website. Also, it is in the black finish. I'm telling you, when these guys have bolt replacements for this Ruger platform, it is literally incredible how many bolt handle designs, styles, big, oversized, small, whatever. And I was really partial to this because I didn't want something massive, but I didn't want something overly small as well. I do like a big, meaty bolt handle with a little bit of a texture on there. Super easy. Go ahead and throw that firing pin back into the channel. Again, having that tool is literally incredible. I don't know what I would have used instead of that. I would have had to just MacGyver something up, like some toothpicks. And you see I'm watching the video there. Shout out to Predator, Texas Predator Hunter. That guy's a great footage of that. If you need, reference that video, not mine. His is better. Now, there's the bolt shroud. You can see the billet one in my left hand, the plastic one in my right. It is just night and day. Now, I do think the lockup for the bolt became better after I put that on. Obviously, that plastic bolt shroud really did just have a jingle to it. It just was terrible. It just felt cheap. And I know this gun, it's not a $1,300 gun out of the box, right? It is, $600 and under. So, and like I said, the rock set there, super, super awesome. I don't plan on ever taking this bolt handle off. And I think, honestly, the fit between the two parts was good enough to not probably have that. But I had it out anyway. I prepped it anyway. And I just know in the future, if I do have to, for whatever reason, God forbid, I got to take that part out, that is just going to be cemented together forever, which is totally fine with me. It threaded on with no problem. As you can see there, you really get one shot at that, and that's about it. So you want to make sure you bottom that thing out, make sure it's good to go. And again, guys, you can see, like, obviously I'm using good gunsmithing tools, but I'm not, farming this work out to a gunsmith or somebody local. I'm able to do this on my own, on my workbench, with simple tools like wheelers, torque wrenches, punches, stuff that you guys can do at home. It's no big deal. Now, that bolt handle is sweet. It did make a huge, huge difference with how the gun felt and cycled. And you guys will see here, I believe I take this over here. Yeah, go ahead and put it in the gun there. Again, the cycling is super nice. It's actually a lot nicer than a lot of other guns in the same category. I've had some Remingtons in the past. I've had some Weatherbees, stuff like that. And I'm telling you, the bolt out of the box of this Ruger, before I even polished it, was actually pretty damn decent. And with that big bolt handle too, it just made things just that much more easy to operate. And for my wife as well, she likes the larger bolt handle. It's easier to grab. She has smaller hands, but nothing too big. So yeah, throw the jokes in the comments, guys. So the Timney trigger, again, the folks at Timney are always, asking me like, hey, what projects you got coming up? Can we help? Do we make a trigger for that? And they make one of the best drop-in. I say drop-in. It's an actual couple punches you got to use to get the pins out. But they make one of the best trigger replacements for the stock Ruger American Gen 1 and Gen 2. This thing, it's got a flat face option. I went with a more traditional, with the bow in it just a little bit. I didn't want it to look like a match trigger, but this thing definitely is a precision match trigger. Now, it's literally plug and play. You take that spring clip out. There's nothing to that. Make sure you don't lose it. The safety plunger, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how they list that in the Ruger manual, but that thing is under tension. So save that. The spring for that is super tiny and probably a huge pain in the ass if you had to order that. You take the trigger selector out. The Ruger American Gen 2, just like the one, has a is a 3-position safety on the tang of the top of the rifle, which every safety should be. I love that about the function of this gun. It just is so more natural to click the safety off and on and make sure you can see it visually before you take a shot. But yeah, you just move that trigger bar over. No big deal. You just reverse the process on the Timney version. Now, the biggest thing I will say on this step, guys, is make sure you have, as you can see, I have the barreled action, the receiver there, supported by a bench block. You want something solid, but yet that's going to support the overall, receiver as you're using a punch tool. Like I have a brass hammer there. I have the correct size punches. You definitely don't want to use something undersized in this because a roll pin by nature will open up and flower out, and it will be so much harder. You may get it out, but it'll be pretty much destroyed because you have to reuse these roll pins. Now, that would be really cool if Timney actually, give you a second set of roll pins. And I think for the price of this trigger, that may be something that they look at in the future. But again, if you're, have done roll pins before, whether you've built an AR or some other platform, it's really not that big of a deal. Use the appropriate size punches, get it started. Even if you have roll pin punches specifically, that'll help you. But I've got the trigger matched up there. You literally, match the roll pins up. It's not that big a deal. And as you guys can see, once we got all that together and all the pieces in symphony here, it truly did become probably one of my favorite guns to shoot, as you guys will see here in some shooting footage and some sound files. All right, we are just high to the right. But yeah, I mean, like we mentioned, I mean, it's really, really a fun project. I do think this is how the Ruger should have came out of the box anyway. But again, you're talking $600 sub, and under, depending on where you're buying it in the country and what's on sale, whatever. With the Timney trigger, with the 20 MOA scope base, with the nice rings, the glass. Now, you're not going to buy a stock rifle with the glass and rings, obviously. But something like this out of the box with a nice trigger and the upgrades to the bolt would probably have pushed this thing well over $1,000, probably in the $1,300 to $1,400 range, which for most people on a budget, when you also have to buy glass, when you also want to invest in a can, in this case, the Backcountry by Banish is... This whole gun, if you can notice, like I could have went bigger on the glass. Yeah, I could have got a 56 millimeter, with a long sunshade and some crazy eye relief, and that just wasn't the purpose of this gun. So when I reached out to Jordan, my bro over at Burris, you know who you are, dude. You are the freaking man. He said, let's go something lightweight, scout style. So this is the Burris Full Field Gen 5. This is the, I want to say this is the 3x12 by 42 millimeter. So again, super lightweight, nothing crazy. She still has up to it's a 12 power, 3 to 12. So plenty for a whitetail. You've got a smart turret here, and you guys saw me introduce this in the side-in video too. So go back and watch that. But getting this thing dialed in to where she can actually dial and go back to 0 and have the 0 return on the top turret is super nice. Illuminated reticle. And again, the can selection, this gun is threaded with 5/8 and 24 thread pitch, so you can do any can. This can is probably my favorite currently on this setup. This is a 30 cal Banish Backcountry, as you guys can see there. Just a super lightweight, shorty, almost like a K can-ish style. It really fits the profile. This gun is being a ranch rifle. It's a 16-inch barrel, fluted, spiral fluting. Now, obviously, you've got the AICS style magazines. This is a Magpul mag. This is like a 10-rounder. You may not hunt with this. You may hunt with the 4-round rotary mag that comes with it from Ruger that has rounds in it, so we're not going to load that in the shop. Being safe here, but yeah, you got the AICS magazine, goes in there, so if you're at the range or whatever, if you're hunting coyotes, there's no round restriction in Georgia for coyotes, so you could do that too. The bolt, again, Anarchy Outdoors, it made a huge difference, trust me, in running this and how smooth it was in the shop. The Timney trigger, I think the icing on the cake is the glass and the Timney trigger. It just made that match made in heaven was so perfect and made this gun really get over the hump of the sub MOA. I mean, I think with a steady bench rest and not shooting in the prone, getting a solid bench with this bipod and a good sandbag, I think I could get a sub MOA all day with particular rounds. It likes Barnes, it likes the Hornady ELDM match, which is plenty of around in my area for 6.5 Creedmoor. But I just wanted to show you guys just how easy this gun is to get in your hands, make it the way you want, adapt it to the way you want. Some guys don't even hunt whitetail. Maybe you want to make this a lightweight coyote gun, get it in 22 Creedmoor or get it in 6 Creedmoor. 6 ARC, I think they make it in. So the applications for this are endless. The only gripe I have, the entire gripe I have with this gun is I would say that this piece right here being the adjustable cheekerizer kit, I had to buy that separately. Now, I will tell you right now, Optics Planet, for whatever reason, they lost my original package. When I ordered this, is about $40 here, $32, $35 of shipping, whatever. Comes with 2 pieces, a medium and a high. You get a low one. So you do get a low one from the factory, and this part is actually adjustable too for the length of pull, so this gun can grow with someone like a child or my wife in this case. But I had to order this. This should have came with the gun. Ruger, this should have came with the rifle. If someone's going to spend $600 and it's marketed as a do-all grow-with-you gun, these pieces should have came. I mean, what is these extra 2 pieces of plastic? I mean, charge me the $35. Make it $635 MSRP. Whatever you got to do, I would have paid that to have this out of the box. Other than that, the Cerakote, the tungsten Cerakote is beautiful. The spiderweb finish tan stock was very nice. And sling swivel studs, adjustable length of pull. Like I said, that came with it from factory. And other than that, I mean, I would tell you to go buy one. After not having a Ruger American and seeing a ton of info about them online and now shooting one and setting one up for someone else in the family. Haven't taken a deer with it yet. Hopefully we get that on film. And I'm working on that for you guys. Trust me. But I think in the future, I will get more of these platforms. But I will tell you, as a consumer looking to buy something, but you don't want to spend an arm and a leg because you're budgeting in glass and other accessories, like we said, suppressors, I highly recommend the Ruger American Gen 2. Vast improvement, the great value, great accuracy in my experience, and I don't think you can go wrong with this platform. And obviously, this being a do-all platform for some people, you can shoot this off a tripod with a saddle mount, or you can put in an Arca Swiss. But in this case, we've got the brand new can from the folks over at Whisper Strike. Now, this is the first time it's been on the channel. Now, we are going to do a sound comparison. So this is a 30 cal 3D printed can. So we're going to have this thing on the channel. It's 3D printed design. These folks are out of Gainesville, Georgia. And obviously, I've got the end cap on that is direct thread. But I can't wait to see what this thing sounds like. Even on 6.5 Creedmoor, I think this 30 cal can has a lot of benefit to do. Good volume, the cool, crazy, the way it sucks fresh air in from the back, and looking on the inside of this thing. If it sounds as good as it looks, we're going to be in trouble, man. This thing is going to be super, super nice. Very versatile. 30 cal can go on a plethora of firearms. So if you're looking at a new suppressor, I do have a code here, Mojo, 10% off, whisperstrike.com. Local company to us here out of Gainesville, Georgia. Go check them out. 3D printed cans. They've got a ton of new SKUs and a ton of new stuff coming out. Formerly known as Whisper Tech, Whisper Strike. So you guys go check them out. Tell them Mojo sent you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys got some good value out of how easy it is to turn a firearm like this into something that you're going to hunt with for generations, something that you can grow with, something that you can build for your wife or a kid, or maybe you just want a slick little ranch rifle setup for your next deer season or outing or whatever you got going on. So guys, check out the channel. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. As always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.